Hello everyone, welcome to Cookies Enabled. I'm Will, your host, and next to me here is Andrew, the co-host and editor of the show. And today we're doing something a little different. It is almost the season 2 beginning. Technically, I know I said last episode was the official beginning of season 2. I mean, it is the calendar year beginning of season 2,
I
yes,
think
but little different. Little different because now we're officially, the 18th of January is officially when we started with the 5G Explained episode. So happy anniversary on the 18th, Cookies Enabled. You'll be 1 year old. So which is super cool, and we got to say thank you to everybody out there for helping out and being awesome supporters of the show. And I know we've got almost to 80 in the first year, and we got a few more days to go. So hey, if you guys want to push that over 100, I'm not going to stop you.
20. Can we get to 100 subscribers within a year? We can do it.
I think so. Absolutely. I think that is very doable. So I want to say thank you to everybody that has helped us get there so far and been great supporters of the channel. And we got a good show for you guys today. We're also going to be jumping onto Spotify with our normal live streams. So if we're doing a lot more describing of what we're talking about, it's because people might be listening in as well and not just watching what I'm putting on the screen. So keep that in mind, everybody. We're not trying to be rude. We're trying to be helpful. So
If you're listening to this on Spotify several days after this comes
yeah,
out,
it'll probably be like Friday, Saturday,
we
something.
did an intro. We talked about it, so I'm sorry if we're repeating ourselves.
So sorry.
But
Hey,
we're figuring it
yeah,
out. We'll see how
it's
it
a new
goes.
beginning, right? Here we go. Round 2, I guess. Fight. But with our normal startup, as we usually do, we're going to be jumping into our space news, as always. And I don't know if we have much SpaceX news, actually. Did they do an actual launch over the week?
Not yet.
No? More
Uh,
testing, maybe?
uh,
Probably.
we're getting very close to Starship
Okay.
testing. Looking at probably February right
February.
now.
Okay, so a couple weeks
Um,
away.
but tomorrow, about 10:23, I believe, they're doing one of their new rideshare programs they
Oh,
call.
okay. Interesting.
And that's basically, if you're a small tech startup or astronomy startup
Right.
company and you don't have the money to, put your satellite on a rocket on its own
Right.
to get into orbit, you can basically rent or pay for a little section
Okay.
on a Falcon 9 rocket,
Hmm.
and maybe 30 or 40 of those they combined pay for the launch,
Wow. Okay.
and that helps. So it reduces the cost on these startup companies that do astronomy satellites, communication satellites, anything. Unless you're a major world power, it's really hard to get the money to launch your satellite into space.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
So if think of it like Uber ride sharing,
Right.
but for
But for
satellites.
space.
They're doing one of those tomorrow. I'm excited. I'll be up early enough I can watch, see how that
Cool.
goes.
Yeah, definitely let us
Um,
know. I'm excited to hear.
so not in SpaceX at the moment, but at the same time, SpaceX has been rather overshadowed recently by James Webb.
Yes. Absolutely.
Obviously,
Our next topic.
we talked about it last week. They had finished a lot. I think I said 75%
Yes.
of those critical control
Yep.
points. They got through all of them.
Yay.
Mirrors have
Successful.
deployed. The secondary mirror has deployed. The solar shields have deployed. It is in perfect working condition.
Yep.
It's on its way to Lagrange point 2.
Yay. Which I think another
Nothing
week before it gets
failed.
there, give or take.
We're
Or a
looking
couple of days. I
at.
can't remember.
We still got some
Yeah.
time. It's going to get there
And then it's another
with
month
it
or so before they get any photos. So,
about 4 months away until we get any
right.
photos, though. 4 to 5.
A lot of testing.
Uh, well, they have to slow the craft
Right.
down as it gets closer. Like, you can't just.
Stop.
No, that's not how space works. You have to slowly reduce your,
Acceleration,
momentum.
essentially.
Yeah, right into the proper orbit, which everything's been going nominal.
Right.
And because of the efficient launch, I think I said last week, it increased its operational life from 5 years to 10 years,
Yes. Yes.
which is a huge
Yep.
difference
Yep. Just in fuel
considering how
savings
many
and stuff. Yep.
scientific ideas and research things are going to go on with this telescope. 5 years is not a lot of time when you have to spend, or when you're trying to spend 3 months using
Right.
it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Double that. So much more uh, availability for these science research projects
Absolutely.
to fruition. So we still got some time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to be probably like midsummer before we're seeing any interesting photos, really cool news, science readouts, anything at all. I mean, like Andrew said here, it's going to be a while before this thing is officially, at the right temperatures, fully tested, all set and ready to go for that first photo. So I think they're really trying to make sure everything is, dotted I's, crossed T's, folded everything, making sure it's
Oh, very much.
100%.
I mean, you have to test everything. You
Mm-hmm.
have to get, and it takes time to cool some of these bits of equipment down to their operational
Absolutely.
temperatures.
Yeah.
And we're talking on one side of it, you're looking at 2 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. On the
Yeah.
other side, you're looking 2 to 300 degrees
Yeah.
negative Fahrenheit.
Huge difference.
This satellite the size of a tennis court.
Yeah.
If you saw this thing in person, it would boggle your
Yeah. It's
mind. It
massive.
is the largest and most complex space telescope we've ever built.
Legit. Anywhere. Like nothing this extreme. I mean, it was a crazy idea to begin with on paper, and here it is now officially floating in space, almost at its proper destination. We're getting there. It's getting there. Like Andrew said, we got a while to go before it'll be the end of the month, but while it's to getting it in position and the right temperature, then another like 2 to 3 months of testing and making sure it's all good to go. Like, I mean, everybody's been saying it's could be another 6 months before we hear anything about this. So don't expect anything until like July at the earliest when it comes to like hardcore data from this new telescope. So that's where Hubble, our lovely old school beauty, is going to be filling in that gap of time, which Hubble was not supposed to even be operational at this time and is still floating around doing her job, hanging in there.
Again, Hubble mainly focused on the visual
Yes. Visual spectrums. Yes.
electromagnetic spectrum. James Webb is mainly focusing on
Infrared.
infrared,
Yep.
but that lets us see much further into the past.
Way
So
further.
we're really looking forward to what we come up with.
I'm so
But again,
excited.
for space news, that's about all we got
Well,
right
actually, wait,
now.
I have one more thing.
I think a lot more news.
Well, we did have a
Things are going to
normal.
progress
We do have one more
this year.
space
So,
news.
oh, you
I
got
do
one?
have one more. Yes, and this is kind of. I mean, it's space news only because it's out on Mars. We got the Perseverance rover is choking on a rock. Everybody, poor Perseverance, doing a great job so
Oh,
far, honestly. Now this car-sized rover, and I hate to say it, but it's about the size of most modern SUVs or sedans. Pretty similar size and shape. It's
good size. Yeah.
definitely a behemoth of a rover. It has been doing a fantastic job so far. I gotta say, it's done up to five, six, or I should say four successful, uh, technically five successful digs. It's done six, but the first one retrieved nothing because I guess the ground that they dug was so brittle, the drill just vaporized it essentially, and they got nothing on some dust. But poor Perseverance on its sixth scoop ended up picking up a rock, which is stuck in the rotating chamber. That actually, when it collects the sample, it goes up into kind of like this rotating drum. Then it can go into a sample stage where it gets stored essentially for later. And this little tiny rock here at the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see it right at the bottom of the chamber here, is causing a lot of resistance in the machinery. And they're not sure if it's actually going to damage anything if they just keep using it or if it'll just disintegrate as they go. So they pretty much put Perseverance on hold, and they are making sure that this is not going to damage the equipment any further, because they think it has done some minor damage, some scratching around that O-ring there, if you can see it. And I think this is where the top part is trying to come down and latch, and of course that rock's getting in the way, and it can't latch, and it's just jiggling and scratching, and this is a problem. So they do have a way to actually rotate this part of the craft and actually kind of shake loose that rock. But they're wanting to make sure they're going to do this right and not knock more dirt into it somehow. So they're really taking their time to make sure they get this calculation correct. And they're going to somehow dislodge this rock from the inside of the neck or throat of Perseverance. So kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of cool, but definitely NASA's working on it. They've been working on this for a couple of weeks now. Now the news is officially out. Darn rock stuck in its throat.
Well, it's NASA, so I kind of feel you got the best minds in the world working on
Yeah,
it.
you do.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You always do.
And Perseverance has been nothing but super successful since it landed. Like I said, it's only had one drilling malfunction so far, and it was the very first one. So I mean, we didn't really know what to expect, from that at all, and it didn't go well. So now we learned a lot from the first drilling, and we've had 5 successful drills until this loose rock shook from its container and is now kind of just loose inside this one rocker panel, essentially. So they're going to try to bump that thing loose, and hopefully it'll just fall right out of place. But like they said, they got their best mathematicians, I'm sure, making sure it's going to be twisted at this angle, at this speed, and it'll fall out perfectly or whatever, So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm not concerned at all.
I think we're good.
I think we are totally good.
Got some good memes, I think.
Oh my gosh, yes. We have some awesome memes. And we'll dive right in here. Let's see. You had this first one, which is hilarious. And it says, this is some advanced humor. And roses are red. And then there's a picture of Groot. And, total brain fart from The Incredibles. Super Suit. I know that's what he's saying, but I can't think of his name. What's his name? I can't think of his character name.
Frozone, the character.
Yes. So
Frozone, I am Groot. Honey, where is my super suit?
Yes, there we go. The super suit. Where's the super suit? I mean, that's all I hear in the Samuel L. Jackson voice.
Is they in the Avengers movie.
Oh shoot. Endgame?
The one before Endgame, when everybody died.
Infinity War.
Yeah, from the snap.
Yes.
Now you remember when spoilers, everybody.
Yeah, sorry.
And
spoilers here.
Still spoiled. It's years ago, so I don't care anymore.
Sorry.
When Samuel L. Jackson gets out of the car at the end, and he starts disappearing into dust, and he, mother, and in the background you see a helicopter lose control, crash into a skyscraper.
Huh.
They modeled that after that scene from The Incredibles. When the hell?
Oh, no way.
Samuel L. Jackson is asking about his super suit. They put that in there purpose.
Oh, I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, you might as well have some fun with it. That's awesome.
It shows that comparison. We'll link it in the description down below.
Yes.
But yeah, roses are red. I am Groot. Honey, where's my super suit? That was my first.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, now you had this other one, which was really awesome as well, actually. 2 really good ones this week. And this one is Dracula died. You have something stuck in your teeth? And he goes, there, here. And she goes, no, here. No, just look in the, go look in the what, Sarah?
In what? I'm a vampire. He doesn't have a reflection.
I mean, it's perfect because, yes, vampires technically, if you're looking at the original myths from back in the day, can't see themselves reflected in anything, including mirrors, which means you can't go look in a mirror and get that out of your tooth. You either need someone to get it for you, or you got to just brush your teeth. I guess.
It's
Poor
like that
Dracula.
domestic argument, though. It's like, just go look in the look in the what? You can't see it.
Damn it, Sarah.
Not like your first one. That looks like my bedroom. I,
Yes.
aside from the glass brick, that was the computer I had in
I
high
was gonna say,
school.
I think we all had an old school machine like this back in the day with the ancient old school, 9.5 inch floppy drive, giant power buttons, and it's got a lock on it that literally does nothing. Like, I mean, the old
Honestly,
DeskJet HP printer sitting there. It's got his little.
I feel like at this point we would be more embarrassed by the oversized T-shirt and jean shorts than we were the computer.
Right, you'd think so, but no. I mean,
Like,
and who's supposed to look good next to that bulky monitor and that giant
yeah, for those
paperweight?
listening,
Anyways,
for those on our new Spotify channel, you're looking at a kid standing or sitting next to a beige '90s computer
right,
with
standard
oversized
desktop.
T-shirt, stonewashed jean shorts, and the shoes that your dad probably still wears while he mows the
Thank you.
lawn.
Yes, the same white
The
sneakers.
'90s were unfortunate when it came to that sort of fashion,
Unfortunately.
so we apologize. Those white New Balance with the jean shorts, never a good look.
No,
Never.
no, it wasn't even good then. It was just functional
No,
and
it was
cheap.
not. It was bad. So, that just put that image in your head if you're listening to this. It's bad.
Yep. And this is me in the 90s getting ready to instant message my girl. I mean, he's got this like swagger look, like this just total mundane, like, I'm seriously gonna get it tonight, and this is like a 12-year-old in front of this, like, Windows 98 screensaver. Wow, you're real ballsy there. I mean, come on. I
I'm
mean,
turning it back, just churning out those noises. Yeah.
yes. It's just sitting there thinking about nothing. Like, you're not even clicking on something and you hear the hard drive spinning. That's what those old machines did, let me tell you. I don't know what they were thinking about, but they were always thinking. Anyway, our last one here was a picture I pulled from Facebook. I don't know if they've got this. Maybe they were in a store or there's something they got in their house. I'm not 100% sure, but it is awesome. It's this like a
And
wooden
I
plaque.
like it. I like it.
I'm sure this is something you can buy at like Walgreens or Pure One Imports or something, but it says, once you lick the frosting off a cupcake, it becomes a muffin, dot, dot, dot. And muffins are healthy, period. You're welcome. I love that. So, whenever somebody brings those cupcakes into the office and you're like, I am on a diet, I should be eating this, just lick the frosting off and think it's a muffin, and you will feel so much better. Oh, so I thought that would brighten everybody's
They're
day
not.
on diets lately, since it's the beginning of the year, and everybody is probably trying something new that's probably slowly killing you, and I'm really sorry. So I know that's no fun.
All flour milk at the end of the day. Who
Oh
cares?
my, I know, right? Okay, we got a couple of last topics here for you. I have one small one here that is should be a really long topic, but I'm not going to dive into it because it's extremely mathematical and there's a lot of equations and graphs. And that's not what we're here to do. So we're here to just discuss the news. And really, all you needed to know out of this 20-page amazing research article that came out of, I'm sorry, let me make sure I get this name right. It is called the PPPL, which stands for Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory, which is a mouthful. Holy moly. So this place teamed up with a place out in Japan known as the LHD, or Large Helical. I'm sorry, I'm screwing this up so bad. Helical. I cannot say the helical device. Essentially, it's a fusion reactor. Okay, you got a fusion reactor, and this guy discovered that something that you have in your common household kitchen sink or detergent, known as bromine, is amazing at stabilizing plasma at high density temperatures and reactions inside a fusion reactor. Oh, so the picture here is the man standing behind the giant machine, that the PPPL, and this machine takes a giant stream of plasma and wraps it around a bunch of magnetic coils. And the biggest problem that we have with this, and with all plasma reactions, and fusion generators like these, and the ones that in Japan and China and the United States, they're all doing it now. They all have plasma discharge problems, where the plasma does not stay contained in that magnetic ring like it's supposed to, especially when it gets to like hundreds of millions of degrees. It starts to kind of try to branch out, like we have on the sun when you have those giant, uh, you know,
Well, no, you're right. You
coronal
get
mass
those.
ejections.
Exactly. That's what they're called. And when you're dealing with, especially with high gravitational effects that the sun has,
Absolutely.
you're going to get these things.
Yep.
It's hard to control in like a scientifically controlled environment.
Exactly. Exactly.
I did just I pulled up the article. You were trying a little too hard. It's just the large helical
Helical.
device.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm probably trying to make it harder than it really is.
That's all it
Helical
was.
or
I said
whatever.
like curve.
Yes.
That's all it was. I pulled it up.
It's more like a helix
They
shape,
call
but
it
yeah.
heliotron. But it does follow a lot of the principles we know on magnetic fields and how they interact with each other with gravity.
So
Um,
what they did was they kind of
on
injected a um,
whole uh,
like a powder
element. I
bromine
mean,
in there, and that
yeah, it,
coated the whole plasma reaction chamber and actually held the plasma in place better than any kind of carbon reaction ever could, apparently, and was able to sustain it not only for a whole hour, but was able to completely prevent any fissures or leakage of the plasma during that whole time, which is the first time they've ever been able to successfully do that. Again, using normal household items. Borax is one of the easiest to find chemicals on the planet. I
well,
mean, it's everywhere pretty much. It's
I
so easy to
say
make.
I wouldn't household chemicals because they're not just taking a box of borax that you bought off the
No,
shelves at
no. Pouring it.
Aldi and throw it. It's a refined. I mean,
Yeah,
borax is based on yes, an element,
yeah. This is a
and it
different
is
kind of
very
idea.
um, yeah. It. I mean, that's a very prevalent um element.
Right.
It's you can find it
Pretty
anywhere.
much, yeah. It's very prevalent and it's easy for us to manufacture on in many different levels and forms
Very.
and consistencies.
That's the thing with when it comes down to nuclear
Hmm.
reactions like this, and we've talked about this in many
Yes,
episodes.
many
It
episodes.
is you need to get more energy output
Yep. Then
than you
input.
put into it.
Yep. And this is one
And
way to
I
do
mean, yeah,
that.
we don't have to cross hairs with the whole
Nope.
idea of conservation of
Mm-mm.
energy because the fuel obviously provides that extra
Right.
output, but it's the fusion. I mean, yeah, you cannot create or destroy energy,
No.
but it's the level of how
How
much
much you can convert
matter
as
is in
fast as
there,
possible,
how,
essentially.
how much raw energy do you put in versus how much you get out.
Exactly. And how much effort going
And
into it as well.
on the translation from a certain type of energy into another,
Pardon
heat
me.
energy into nuclear energy or one or the other. It
It's a big deal.
it's the same you've been doing with steam engines
Yes.
and internal combustion engines and
Jeez, for
nuclear
decades.
reactors,
Like,
but a fusion engine,
yeah, this has never been
a
tried
fusion
before.
reactor,
And it almost sounds like an
and
accident. Like somebody accidentally let some bromine get in there or something. That's not what happened. This was intentional
reactor
and it works.
so much.
So, hey. So, again, if you want to know more,
Closer, we're getting
right.
closer. We've been looking at this for several
Oh my
decades.
gosh, this could
One
be
day,
within a decade a functional fusion reactor could be possible.
yeah,
Very much so.
and if we do, then if we can come up with a fusion reactor that works efficiently enough,
Right.
then we've solved the energy
Yeah, pretty
crisis.
much.
That's
Pretty much.
it. Hands down.
Yep.
We have,
Yep.
and we're getting there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
We are
needs
so
more,
close. So close,
and
everybody.
it needs money. It needs funding.
Like I said, a couple
It
more
needs
years,
funding.
they will have a successful fusion reactor working somewhere in the world, guaranteed. They're already
I
really
hope so.
close, so it's going to happen.
Need it.
Anyway, so if you want to know more about this amazing discovery, please dive into those scholarly notes below and fill your brain with amazing math equations and beautiful graphs of amazing data. Okay, now Andrew, you had an amazing discovery, which I did see on my news over the weekend, but it wasn't as in depth as the article you found. So this was really cool. The article had way more pictures and way more detail about this sea dragon, which is so
Yeah.
cool. What a discovery. Holy crap. And this thing isn't small either. This first picture will demonstrate how big this thing is.
Yeah. So I want you to describe this because I'm having issues right now. If I pull it up on my phone, I can't see our
Right,
feed.
right. I got you. So, this description,
I looked at it earlier, so you're gonna have to describe it.
I'd say this is easily the size of
But it
maybe a
is.
school
I mean,
bus.
it's a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur skeleton.
Absolutely.
We get this. It's cool.
It is so cool.
Every time we have a dinosaur from the earth, it's fucking cool. I'm sorry about dinosaurs. If you don't like dinosaurs, then you can unsubscribe from our channel
Right.
and go.
We're going to be talking about them. I'm sorry, everybody.
Dinosaurs are awesome. I'm wearing dinosaur underwear
I'm
right
not
now.
surprised
I have,
by that.
I have dinosaur models on my shelf 4 feet from me.
Right, right,
I grew up, first PG-13 movie was Jurassic Park.
right,
So if you don't like dinosaurs, leave us
right.
alone.
Exactly.
If you
Exactly.
like dinosaurs, this is really,
So,
because this is what did I say? 15 meters?
yeah, it's pretty freaking big.
Old,
It was here, let me see if it'll pull up on mine. It was a 10
so
10
most,
meters, give or take.
one of the lines, one of the lineages of dinosaurs related to your common
Yes.
birds. It was one of the ones related to your common lizards, most likely, but we don't know because it's still, they're trying to figure out the
Still
science.
digging it out and everything as well. It's 180 million years old. And let's see. It's found on an island 11 months ago. It weighs about 1 ton as well. Holy moly. So,
Oh, it was big.
I mean, that's just the bone structure. I mean, that's pretty freaking heavy. So, yeah, holy moly. So, yeah, they did a really, wow.
Yeah, it was.
They went about extinct about 90 million years ago, it says. And this was found in, where? Where was this found? Why am I having a hard time finding that part? Because it wasn't in the United States. It was in the UK somewhere, wasn't it? Let me change the photo for you guys here. So in the picture, there's a man, one of the discoverers laying next to the photo here. It's at least 10 times the size of him. I mean, lengthwise alone, and maybe 4 widths of a human male. Like width, I mean, the thing was massive. Like I say, it's about a bus. You know what I mean? Think of a school bus size tuna. Is I guess kind of what it looks like in the pictures that I have here anyway. And it actually looks like it's eating a dolphin in the photo. And it looks kind of like a giant dolphin slash tuna kind of morphed into one. If you can imagine the two of them. You've got your dorsal fin and your regular, rear fin, like a shark almost. But it has more of a pointed nose like a dolphin.
I mean, if you look at the photo, and we're going to share that, I mean, this makes a great white shark look like a dolphin.
It really does. It makes it look like a tiny
Yeah,
little dot in the water.
They call it a sea dragon, just for fun,
Thank you for joining.
Well, not dinosaur. We have had these species. It's an
Ichthyosaur.
ichthyosaur.
Thank you. Yeah.
We've known for probably 80, for I want to say 80 to 90 years, but
Yeah,
probably
I'm not
much
sure.
longer. I wish I knew paleontology and the time frames, but so this is not
Right.
an unknown species. It's just a large one. So we knew what we were looking for, but looking at it, yeah, pretty large size for them. They basically look like a
Right.
carnivorous dolphin, longer fins, sharper teeth, which you see. But this is one of the largest specimens
Yeah.
found in the British
Which is
Isles.
crazy. I mean, it's amazing how
And
big it is. You got in this picture, you have 12 of the excavators standing shoulder to shoulder, and they don't even span. You could probably put another, maybe 8 more people shoulder to shoulder just to get the full length of this entire, being. I mean, this thing is amazingly huge. This is a huge discovery, especially for the area and the location. It's not a normal place for us to be
yeah,
finding dinosaurs normally. You know what I mean? So
I'm looking at the
very rare.
now you can see
Yep, that's the photo. Yep,
you can see we'll have
yep,
that posted there. Um, and I mean, these animals were around from about 250 million years ago to
right.
90 million years ago.
Here's part of the spinal cord.
They were a lot around that
Right.
long. And
Yeah, definitely. Again, it looks kind of
it,
like a dolphin, but way bigger. I mean, we're talking maybe 20, 30 times the size of a dolphin. I mean, way, way bigger. Bus sized dolphin.
I wouldn't say that big. I think your average dolphin's probably maybe 8 or 9 feet from
Right, right, right.
nose to tail.
And this thing's 10 meters,
So
so
that's
I don't know. That's at least 5 dolphins, right? Maybe 6 or 7, give or take.
yeah,
An
uh,
error of and then it's
yeah,
probably about 3 dolphins
five
wide
dolphins or so,
at
but
least. So I
maybe
mean, the
more.
thing was big. It was
I
big, but not necessarily a
apparently
shark.
the big it's the most complete skeleton they've
Yes,
ever found, and
yes.
that's important.
So cool.
The more bones you have, the more you can learn from these
Right.
prehistoric
Yeah.
creatures.
I mean, this is just it's such a cool. Even though the little photos they have here are awesome. Like I said, the team here. This guy laying next to it, I think, is probably one of the coolest shots because you can really it really puts in
Mhm.
perspective how big this thing was. She says, "Ah, the dolphin shark." I guess that is kind of what it is. It is kind of a dolphin shark. It was probably really smart too. It was really big. So unfortunately,
Well, we know that dolphins are
right.
extremely intelligent species. Dolphins, elephants, humans, some of the highest level of intelligence that we can measure from our
Absolutely. Absolutely.
perspective.
Yep. Okay.
So,
Yes, all completely underwater. Yeah, this was
well,
an underwater being. Yeah, didn't come on land at all. I think it
anyway,
breathed air though, if
totally
I was reading
not.
it correctly, like a dolphin.
A lot of your dinosaurs did, if they were from
So
that
that means it
branch.
comes up to the
That
surface to
if
get air. So it would have been
yeah,
like kind of like a whale. Probably had a really good capacity to hold its breath for a super long period of time as well. But it was a thing. It's not a
uh,
thing anymore. Not a thing anymore.
would assume 10 to 15 minutes because that's about how long dolphins
Yeah.
can these days. Just because they're mammals. But a lot of your dinosaurs tended to
Right.
be endothermic versus
Yes.
ectothermic. Um, the endothermic dinosaurs are the ones that tended to mostly die out, and the few that did survive in certain climates became
Right.
reptiles, lizards. The endothermic were the ones that could regulate their body temperature on their own without having to
Right.
worry about the sun. They tended to go towards mammals or
Yes. Exactly.
birds. Again, as we say, the closest living relation to the T Rex is
Yeah.
probably the
Yeah. Most
chicken.
likely. Yeah. That's about right.
So when they say tastes like everything tastes like dinosaur, if you think about it.
Mmm. Yummy. What's for dinner, Mom? Anyway.
That
Dinosaur.
dinosaur.
My favorite. Oh, hilarious. Okay. We got one last topic for you guys today. Now, this one is for some of our listeners because we have a huge listener base outside of the United States, at least according to Google and our analytics. So, for everybody not listening in the United States that is interested in the folding phone market, we got another one coming to you right now. And this one is from Honor, which is actually a really good brand. and has been around for a while, especially in the smartphone market. They have been kind of jumping leaps and bounds ahead, like Samsung, and I think this could be a massive competitor to Samsung. Now, this is the Honor V, and kind of like it sounds. I mean, it unfolds just like the Samsung Fold, and it actually looks almost identical to the Samsung Fold 3, which is the newest one that just came out, which is technically the fourth, but we're not going to get into that. So this one, what they're claiming, which is what Samsung never claimed, is that their foldable screen does not have a crease, which is interesting. So how they're claiming that is that when you fold this shut, it somehow bubbles the screen out so it's more rounded instead of just folding flat like Samsung's. Now, I don't necessarily 100% agree with this claim, and if you watch the video here, you'll see what I'm talking about. It folds almost identical to the Fold 3. It's almost the same kind of patented hinge. It's a little different. It's actually similar to what we saw with the Microsoft Duo, which was not one screen but two, and it used this same kind of weird. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe this hinge. It's almost like three hinges put together into one. So
I've seen that hinge. They tried to use that with the
yes, the
Razor
Razor
reboot,
redo. Yes. Ugh.
and I get their all of these companies and their ideas of foldable
Yes,
phones,
but
but I think their desire for doing that is just a few years beyond the
we're getting
technology.
there.
We
Yeah,
don't. It's
I
not.
think it's too
Yeah.
bulky
Even
still. Like, it's a hefty phone.
a lot
It's
of people say it's
yeah,
fine, but I feel like those people don't use their phones to the same extent that
right.
a lot of the modern
Exactly.
generation
Yeah.
does.
Like now, I do have a
I,
coworker that actually has the
I
Fold
think
phone, the Fold Samsung 3, and I did ask him about it, and he said that now when he first got it, he didn't think he would be folding it open all the time and using the bigger screen real estate as much. And then but he does run his own business, and so I think now he's loving the fact that it's pretty much a mobile, like little mini PC on his phone. Whenever he needs that, he can just unfold it and voila, it's a little computer and he's ready to go. So he loves
so.
that,
If,
but most people aren't going to be using it for that kind of thing.
so
Um,
how long is he going to be doing that before you start showing wear and
exactly,
tear?
exactly. Now, um,
Seen a lot of that on YouTube. Of I've had this for 6 months, and there's a
crease and
noticeable
fold, and yes,
video.
yeah.
Uh, I
I think the crease would bother me.
I like the idea of novelty, but I don't
No.
think we
No,
need
I
it.
think the technology has a ways to go
I,
still. And
but
again, this is still
I think,
relatively new. This is Honor's first time making a
yeah,
foldable screen at all. And I think they're using the LG folding screen, which is different than what Samsung was using because they make their own screens at Samsung. And Samsung OLEDs have always been the superior go to in the market. I don't know of any company other than maybe Sony that might make better screens OLED wise that are comparable to Samsung, but I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if anybody has any feedback on that for me, and definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think about that or what you guys think about folding phones in general. I think it's great for a niche market for the people that had those phablets, like the phones that aren't tablets but they're bigger than a regular phone and smaller than a regular tablet. That was a phablet, and this is fitting in that market. It is a phone and a tablet. It is not a phablet. It is actually, when you unfold it, it's bigger than a
my,
normal tablet, and when you
I
fold it shut, it's smaller. So it does not fit into that category, which is weird. Very strange.
hate the term
Phablet.
phablet.
Yes.
That's so
PH.
just.
PH.
Here's how I know that folding screens are not going to become a thing in the near future, because Apple hasn't
See now,
released
okay,
one.
there's rumors that Apple has been working on foldable phones well before Samsung even released it, but they threw the idea away because they couldn't, get, like you said, the creases right and the edges and the hinges. So they just kind of ditched the idea, and we were waiting to
Yeah,
kind of see
when
what happens. I don't necessarily. We'll have to wait and see. I think Apple's had something up their sleeve for a while. And I don't think it's going to
When
be a
thing
fold open screen. I think it's going to be an expanding iPhone. Like you push a button and it actually gets bigger.
yeah,
Like the screen rolls out of the side of a hinge rather than it folding out into something bigger. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't sound like Apple to me either. Mark my words.
no, again, that's why I don't think it's going to
No,
become a big thing
I don't either.
in the near future. Because usually when something revolutionary happens, Apple puts it out, they
Oh, absolutely.
overprice it,
Which is also weird
and
because
Android, Microsoft, or someone else does it better
now
at a
we
cheaper
could
price.
see Apple
But
AR coming out,
so I don't have
or not AR but VR or XR or whatever they're putting it now. I don't know. It's gonna be some kind
got
of alternate reality glasses, and we know they've been working on this for a while, but they haven't perfected it, so they're not pumping it out yet. But man, the rumor mill has been generating a lot of stuff there, so that's why I don't mention most of it.
that
But
easier to do than a roll up or foldable screen. I just don't see the market for foldable or roll up screens.
no,
It
I mean
could
I
be
didn't
nice,
before either,
but
but
we
again, I've seen a lot of people pulling out those, the Samsung flip phones pretty much everywhere I go now. So it is definitely becoming a trend more than a niche market, more than I anticipated. A lot of younger generation kids are loving this foldable crap, and I don't
yeah,
really know why, but they love it. They think it's super cool.
because they're told it's
It's
cool and to
something
buy
that
it.
could break in my mind, but I love the idea of turning my phone into a tablet. But I would want. I don't. It just. It
No,
needs to.
I
We
agree.
got a long ways to go before I'm purchasing one. I think. And honestly, but
I think they get it because
it is.
it
Yeah,
looks
and it's a
cool
trend enough. I
and
mean, there isn't really any other company other than I think Xanos that's making a foldable phone, and that's only in a few countries. Also, I think you can get that in China and Asia. This one is also going to be available in the Middle East and Africa, as well as China and almost all of the UK. It is not going to be available anywhere in the United States. Sorry, everybody. I don't think you can get it in Canada either, unfortunately. This is going to be a really hard to find phone, but I'm just happy to see other foldable phones coming into the market and pushing Samsung out. I mean, we got to get some more competition going here, or this is going to be a joke, 5 years from now, and no one's going to have these phones anymore. You know what I mean? So we'll see how this goes. But anyway,
Samsung they're doing
yeah,
their quality is
yeah.
good. I just don't see a market for these foldable or roll up screens.
I didn't
Our
see a market for like the
phones are
Note,
big
like
enough.
tablet or any of that stuff either, and those were awesome. People
Yeah,
just loved them. Like they wouldn't buy a regular phone, they'd buy a Note, and I think that's kind of the market they're playing to right now is that like I need something bigger than a phone and do more than that, but I don't want a tablet in my pocket all day. You know what I mean? Like, and I get that. I get it because I don't want that either.
I just don't think it's a market that's really going
Take
to
off.
have money. Yeah, no, it isn't. Because if you're home, you have your tablet, you have your Microsoft Surface, your iPad. But if you're on the move, you have your larger Samsung phone, your iPhone 11 or 13. You don't
Well, we'll
need that
see.
middle
If
ground.
Apple comes out with a foldable device this year, I'm going to say I told you so. But I don't actually think they're going to come out with a foldable device this year. I think this year we may see, like, if anything, the Apple glasses or Apple AR or something like that. Because the rumor mill has chummed out so many patents and things. I mean, they've got to be having something in production by now. I mean, got to. I can't imagine them not doing it. It's doing so well. I mean, HTC, PlayStation's making a whole nother version of their VR for the PlayStation 5. I mean, this could be a whole nother market. I mean, even for virtual learning, they're starting to realize, hey, you can do a whole virtual classroom, give everybody these headsets, and it looks like you're right in the friggin' classroom again. But you're actually at home. So
Does anything
this could
to be
happen.
VR.
Who
So we'll have to
knows?
wait.
And that could be Apple's
They
big push is that
earlier
like
in the year,
it's an educational thing or something. Like you put these glasses on and suddenly you're at school with your friends and you're hanging out in the hallways and you're kicking it old school. I don't know. But yeah, I could see that happening.
a whole 5
What? Yeah, we'll
Find
see.
out.
We will totally see. I have no
Anyway,
idea though.
though,
Anyway, that was pretty much it for our show. I think we did good. Kind of crammed a lot into a small amount of time. But guys, thank you for all tuning in. Again, we're almost to our 1 year anniversary. We are super, super close. That'll be the 18th of this month. But we got a lot of really cool videos coming out really soon. So keep checking back and check our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. We are on them all. And I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Check us out on Spotify. And probably about a week's time, we should have everything starting to go on there. And this should be our first episode. So if you missed us out, check us out on there.
yeah, we've got
Oh, yeah, that might be the
Beethoven
first one. Sorry.
performance video coming through the next few days. Have a main video talking
Yes.
about that piece that'll be coming out about a day or two after that.
Oh.
So check back within, I'd say, three
Oh,
to
yeah.
4 days at the most. After that, a few days, we'll have sort of look back video on
Yep.
our first year of Cookies Enabled. And after that, we'll see what happens this year. We're going to try a few new formats, some Spotify.
Yeah. Not sure
We
yet,
don't know
but
what's going to
hoping
happen
to
here.
push out some more here. But I want to say thank you to everybody again. Thank you for tuning in. Love you all. Have a great day. And I know I learned something new. I hope you guys did too. We will see you guys later. I'll talk to you or I'll see you guys next time.